Hello, everyone.
Hey guys, can everybody hear us okay? Ooh, moving the camera.
I know.
The stream already started.
Noticed. All right, everybody can hear us fine. Thanks for joining here in Discord and YouTube.
Yep, Granny says she can hear us. Thanks, Granny.
All right.
Always glad to see you're watching.
All right. So, we probably have quite a few new people. I know Home Assistant tagged this. So, welcome everybody. We're Apollo Automation, which is a local to Kentucky hardware company building products for Home Assistant and home automation in general. We currently have temperature sensors for your fridge and freezer, air quality, motion sensors, plant sensors, and lots more coming. So to start off, I'm Trevor. So I run the product development side.
And I'm Justin. I do most of the manufacturing and shipping and that's the community stuff.
Yeah, and we're live from Versailles, Kentucky. We're usually from Lexington, Kentucky, but we recently moved. So Justin, you want to hit that one?
Yeah, so we had actually already moved on February 1st into our new workshop. We left the basement finally. Made the joke that we finally made our moms proud because we left the basement. But unfortunately, we still didn't have the streaming set up here at the new workshop. So the last stream was still at the original workshop. But we are in our new cubicle now, which is nice. Trevor put up a bunch of soundproofing, so hopefully it's not too bad or sounds even better than before. But we're still getting moved in and getting everything kind of set up the way we would like it. But it is a lot of fun, and it's been nice to kind of spread out. The basement was kind of getting cramped, thanks to you guys. But it has been a lot of fun, and just we'll have an updated tour video here pretty soon. And if you guys see anything on the video that is inefficient or you have a better idea, please let us know. We're not experts. We're still figuring this out, so we would appreciate any feedback.
Yeah.
I see Cyberdog's already posted.
Got Cyberdog.
Yeah.
We got
Go Birds.
Danny's in the chat.
So,
Good to see everybody. I saw Pseudo Random was posting
yeah,
earlier.
Pseudo Random.
Yeah.
But yeah, so very excited to be in the new workshop.
Yeah.
Having a ton of fun. What else on there?
All right. You want to hit the next one?
Oh yeah, so I mean, like Trevor already said right off the bat, we officially finally got accepted into the Works with Home Assistant Partnership Program. Thanks to everybody at Home Assistant, especially Miranda, who kind of took over everything. We started off with Guy, and then Miranda, I think back in last July or August, and then Miranda took over at the end of last year, and it's been fantastic. Again, thanks to Missy and of course Paulus for founding Home Assistant. But so really humbling and just very excited to be a part of the Works with Home Assistant program, and it's very cool. Actually, we're the first ESP Home. We're the first ESP Home devices to be in the program. So a small little company, from a basement, to be the first ones to have that in the program is really exciting.
Yeah, so really excited that the Air 1, MSR2, and MTR1 are the official ones. We'll be getting the others as well, hopefully. They all already have the Works with ESP Home badge. And then, so we should be able to get the Works with Home Assistant as well. But yeah, really cool to get.
Yep.
Next up, so Homey. Homey is another home automation platform. And we've been building an app to allow our sensors to integrate with that. It's in the final stages right now, so there's a test version of it out there available to anybody using Homey, and it's currently under review at Homey right now. Hopefully we'll have that wrapped up in the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks maybe, and then the Apollo devices will start working with Homey. Initially it's the same set, the Air 1, MSR2, and MTR, and maybe the MSR1. I've got to double check that one. And then same, we'll be adding plant and temp to that as well to start working with Homey. Yeah, I didn't say at the beginning, but any questions or any input in chat, we're happy to answer them as we go for anybody new.
And post about the giveaway real quick. Don't forget about the giveaway. I think around 7:45 it closes, and so it'll randomly choose someone, and we'll give away, I think, another free TEMP-1 sensor if you're choosing the TEMP-1 or TEMP-1B. So be sure to sign up. I think, Brandon just posted the link again in Discord, and then I posted one in YouTube as well.
Yeah, I was going to say we got KBX over in YouTube.
Yeah,
How's
Keith.
it going, Keith?
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out and coming and joining us.
Keith's one of the main ESP Home developers, along with Jesse.
Yeah, DigiBlur as well is in here.
Oh, there you go, Travis. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, so Travis has a YouTube channel called DigiBlur for anybody looking for some truly honest content.
Yes.
It's really nice.
DigiBlur DIY. You touched everything on Homey, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah. So,
okay.
Resin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hit on that one. So we have always done FDM printing for our cases, which is normal 3D printing. One, from a cost efficiency point, and two, from being able to iterate quickly with 3D printing. And then another one is that all of our CAD files are open source for anybody to remix or print on their own or whatever. And so we've been, trying to figure out what's next for Apollo in that terms, to how to take our cases to the next level. And we were originally looking at some injection molding, but there's some drawbacks there with not being able to iterate quickly. Kind of once you cut that mold, there's a high cost to those, and so you don't change them very often. And then we started looking at some industrial resin printers. And so resin printing, for people that not know, it's a different form of 3D printing technology where you, instead of melting plastic to print, you're actually curing a liquid resin plastic. And we've been looking at that. It gives us the surface finish, pretty comparable to injection molding, with all the flexibility of 3D printing. And so we've been exploring that for the last few months. And there's a lot of hurdles to overcome there's a lot of downsides that we have to figure out from complexity and from the resin and scaling it and things like that. But we've been running tests here recently in the new shop. Now that we've got it set up, trying to figure out some good resins and figure out orientations and how reliable the prints are. So still investigating that, and trying to go that route over injection molding if we can. All right. Upcoming events.
Yeah. So if you are local to Kentucky or Lexington or not too far, we do have a couple events coming up. We're members of the Tech Association of the Bluegrass. It's just a little group of companies here in Central Kentucky that are, for the advancement of, tech in Central Kentucky. And we have a event called Undercover Lex. It's this Thursday. I believe it's from 5:30 to 7:30, and we'll actually have a booth set up, and we'll be kind of showcasing, the company and the different sensors, similar to what we do at like Land War, if you guys have heard or seen about that. So this should be a pretty fun event. There's going to be students, I think, that are going to be looking for jobs, and people just kind of looking to see what the latest tech is in Central Kentucky. And then we also have another event on March 18th, and that's actually on U of L's campus, and that's with the MEP program. They're a manufacturing group that actually we've talked about before. They'll help they'll help businesses pay for up to 50% of manufacturing equipment cost, which is an awesome benefit here in the state of Kentucky. So we'll be there demonstrating again our booth and all of our sensors. So if you are in the area on those dates, come on over. We'd love to say hello and meet in person.
I was going to jump in a couple comments out here. One, we got Kristen. Hey, Kristen in YouTube, and Gabrielle. My sister.
Nice. Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, Danny's
Granny,
over there.
Everybody.
Whole family's on. So let's see. Team BVD was saying, volume on resin might be, lesser overall. So it's actually pretty cool. So with FDM printing, so say I want to, print one Air 1 case. It's going to take, a few hours. If I want to print 12 Air 1 cases, it's going to take 14 or 16 hours to print them, to fill the build plate. With resin, using because it's using like a UV screen at the bottom to cure it, whether we're doing one Air 1 case or doing 20 of them, the actual print time is the same, which is really, really neat because it's curing all the layers all at once as it goes up. And so we're looking at some different size printers, whether we want kind of a bunch of small printers or a few large printers, and trying to figure that scale out. But we were running some examples here recently, and so for the TEMP-1 case, and so this is just the bottom piece of the case, we could fit 32 of them roughly on the A1 Mini, which is our current FDM printer, and it took 4 hours. I think it was 4 hours to print those 31 cases. With resin printing, in some of the newer resin printers that are really fast, we could only print 14 cases at a time, but one of them it took 15 minutes to print the 14 cases. Yeah. So we're looking at that on the larger scale size. You could print 30 or 50 of these cases in an hour. It's a little bit slower. So resin printing technology has come wildly far recently, and kind of allows this high production scale, whether going with a larger printer or just multiple smaller printers.
Yeah, because getting the mold cut for injection molding, and then the community makes an update or has a suggestion, and then we're very community driven. Like we'll make the change. It's like, dang, we already cut the mold, so it's like now you got to cut a whole other mold. So resin just allows the same flexibility that we have with FDM. So it just seems a lot more enticing. Kind of seems like the future.
Yeah, I mean, we're always, as a product developer, like if there's a problem with our product case or we find a better way to do it, I don't want this overhead cost of, I just spent $3,000 on an injection mold. Do I really want to fix this issue? With resin, it's just like our current printing. The next time we go to print them, we can improve it. So really, really neat. And yeah, Team BVD, there is some washing and curing afterwards, but those we can also scale really well with large washing machines and large curing processes. So it's definitely more labor intensive to go the resin route, and probably the reproducibility, like the product failure is higher in resin, but we get so much flexibility with it and lower cost of cutting the molds in the entry. So we're definitely trying to figure it out and see what works. KBX is saying, all printing has come so far. Yeah, the last 3 to 5 years in both FDM and resin and metal, SLS printing, all of that has come wildly far in 3 to 5 years. It's really incredible. All right, Ben was calling out the new packaging too. Ben, did you get the new product packaging or the new shipping box? Because we got shipping boxes too.
I think you got the real deal.
Yeah, we've got like new cardboard shipping boxes instead of the bubble mailers. So we've been stepping it up each time. It's really, really fun, building this, and as we grow with you all, seeing some of the shipping things that happen where there's tire tracks on the package and things like that. Yeah. I shouldn't laugh. I mean, it's not fun when you're the recipient of it, but we always wonder, how did that happen? So we have been improving. We've got, new cardboard boxes that are our shipping, that should protect the sensors significantly better. We have product packaging that is, much nicer and gets the user to the documentation faster than the ESD bags. So yeah, thanks. It's our first box designs, and I'm sure we'll improve the design as we go.
And again, please let us know what we're doing wrong and help us. If it's not going to hurt our feelings, like I said, we're not experts and we're still learning. That's part of the fun. So,
all right.
Just talking about the boxes.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch that over to YouTube, and I'll read this one. Oh, Team BVD said, soon you'll be able to print your ESP circuit boards. Now, you say that. We actually had a meeting with a company who has a technology doing that out of, I think, Texas.
No, Texas.
Where they will print the entire circuit. So they think of it as inkjet printing. So with inkjet printing, you have little print heads that are depositing the different colors onto your normal photocopy paper. These print with two types. It's either conductive or non-conductive, and they print and build up a circuit board out of it with, like, it's wildly improved. You know, I thought it would be like they couldn't handle small components and things like that, but it's really, really impressive. So we actually owe them. We're supposed to be sending them our MSR2 board for them to print for us, and that could be something in the future, because we would love to bring that in-house, our PCB production, if it's cost efficient.
Was it these? I posted the link for these Nano Dimension.
Yeah, I think it's that Firefly. Nano,
the Firefly, Nano Dimension.
Or not Firefly, Dragonfly.
Dragonfly, yeah.
Yeah, really, really cool tech, and we don't know the costs of it yet, but
really cool.
Yeah, I was impressed when they said that they could do our board, because we have quite small components and quite tight tolerances. So yeah,
and
really
you said that I was looking at the link, but you could told them that they could print essentially like a cube, like you could print in any sort of shape. I mean,
the circuit board could be, triangular, like I should say a pyramid, like a 3-dimensional pyramid. It kind of changes the way that you design circuits, and they have special software to allow that. So now, instead of developing kind of in these couple of layers, you can actually develop in a 3D plane, just like you do CAD design. So really, really wild stuff.
Very interesting. Really exciting future for sure.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this up. It was really, really cool to hear. All right, so fun. More. Well, I was gonna say the fun stuff, but that 3D printing is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Product development updates. So we have a few products that are in development that we were trying to finish up the final details. The first one on our agenda that we're working on is the parking sensor. So this is when you pull into your garage, you can set a sensor up against the wall. So when you pull into your garage, it'll tell you exactly where you need to stop, where you've configured it, by changing colors from green to yellow to red to make sure you stop right in the correct position. And the use case here is if you have bikes or a fridge, or, in my case, I wanted to be able to walk between the front of the car and the wall, so I could go to my 3D printer. And so this will allow you to, stop in that right spot all the time. It's kind of like the old where you hang the tennis ball from the ceiling, but we're all home automation enthusiasts. So what fun is the tennis ball when you can have a sensor tell you?
Yeah.
Working on that one. That one we did a lot during LAN War, which is an event that we went to recently, and really just need to do some final testing. It was very cold in Kentucky, which kept me out of my garage and wanting to be out there, playing with it. So now that we're warming up, we'll definitely be getting to that, the parking sensor. That's the one that's closest to being done. We have parts ordered. We have it ready to go, and we'll be getting it into a beta hopefully very, very soon.
So good question by Aaron there, if you want to read it.
Aaron. So he said, would that sensor have any variables attached to it, so I could use Home Assistant to turn the garage overhead light red when the sensor detects you are in the zone? Yeah, so the idea is that it's a distance-based sensor, and it'll also have, so the distance sensor, it's a 2-piece unit. Distance sensor goes at your bumper level, and then there's a USB-C cable that goes up to a little light pendant. And so as you approach the wall, it's going to be reading out your distances and tell you, where you at compared to where you want to be. And on the LED pendant, it'll be flashing, going from green means you're far away, yellow means you're getting close, red means you're, at your spot, blinking red means you've gone too far. And we have also been talking with the community about also offering symbols as well. So, maybe a circle means that you're still good, a wavy line might mean you're on the way, and then an X tells you to stop. For people who might have trouble distinguishing colors up there on the array. So yeah, and then you would be able to read those distances from the sensor into Home Assistant, and do whatever you would like to do from that. So really excited for those.
Keith was saying that a tennis ball can't tell you if there's a car in the garage, which is good. That is true. That's very important. That's true. And then Aaron was saying, would it support one car?
Initially, yeah. I mean, that's the design, is that it would only read for the car right in front of it. There were some ideas for maybe a 2 distance measurement unit with one LED light at the top. But yeah, usually with all of our sensors, we start off with the most simplest approach, and then worry about the extra complexities of, maybe more edge cases in future systems.
And actually, Californian, we've actually spoken to him in the past about, he was the one that wanted to potentially use it on the streets, and have a couple directions over here. That was for like monitoring street parking, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So that would be really cool.
Team BVD. ENITE and Team BVD were asking about Zigbee-based devices. Okay. So along those lines, we have been switching, or are planning on switching, from currently we use the ESP32C3 chips for all of our boards. We're switching over to the C6 chips now that there's a lot better support in ESP Home. And what the C6 allows us is, one, more space, because we are trying to cram a lot into these tiny devices. So we get some more flash size on them to hold more complex or more entities. And then the second thing it gets us is access to both Zigbee and Thread, which gives you Matter. So multiple protocols. We're trying to decide right now. We've been talking around to figure out, what one should we focus on first, Zigbee or Matter. Matter is wildly expensive to get into, and not a whole lot of documentation to get started. Zigbee is a much cheaper and easier approach. We're definitely looking at that, and would love to offer, different connectivity protocols from the same hardware. That's a pretty cool feature.
We did get a question over in YouTube. Keith Weston, looks like. He said, I don't have a garage, but I do need an automation to put a car cover on. That is a pain.
To put a car cover on?
It doesn't have a garage, so I guess if it's raining or snowing or something, inclement weather, he may want to cover his car.
Yeah, maybe like there's not a whole lot of like weather stations, I don't think, for ESP Home. Or there's definitely some for Home Assistant. I think there's some quite expensive ones. So maybe something like that. If we're totally missing the point, Keith, just let us know if you have another idea.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there's like a contact sensor or something, some sort of magnetic sensor.
Yeah, that would be
whether or not the cover's on, or a camera on the car.
Yeah. All right. So C6 looks promising. Yeah, we're definitely following the C6. I think we'll be switching to it in keeping Wi-Fi initially, and then working on Zigbee as well.
You talk about doubling the flash.
Yep, doubles the flash size, because we're
close, guys.
0.5%.
We're close. Jesse and Keith keep adding stuff to ESP Home, so
let's see. The real Ken G said, "How about a loud voice that says OMG, stop the car already?" Yeah, that would be fun.
That could probably work.
Let's see. Anything else we're missing? Keith was saying he used a C6 board for his IR blaster.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that you guys added support for that. That's awesome.
Yes, that was the last couple updates. They've been adding more support for it, so which is fantastic. Then you see, I called him out and he put the monkey over his eye.
Team BVD said 100% Zigbee first. Yeah, it might be a good time to post so we have a product interest survey.
Yeah, I was gonna post
and it's like a 2-question survey. It takes you 30 seconds to fill out, and that drives a huge amount of our product development. And so what it is it lets you vote on things that we have ideas for. It lets you give us your own idea, and then it lets you pick a protocol that you most like. And Team BVD, Zigbee is the largest ask on there, and that's So if anybody here hasn't filled it out, I'm sure some people have. Definitely do that if you would for us. We don't email you anything about it at all unless you ask for it on our website. But yeah, we would appreciate any input. All right, that's the PA1. Yeah, so one that kind of, it was an interesting one. So this idea came up, a community member asked us for it at Land War in the summer.
Yeah. Yep.
And we built it actually at Land War, got the dev board. The first revision worked perfectly fine, which never happens. And
we're getting better.
Then it kind of sat on our shelf collecting dust. And so that is the relay. So Relay 1, it's a single channel dry contact relay with an ESP chip built in. It also has a spot to put limit switches. I can't get it in there too well. A spot to put a limit switch and a spot to add a temperature probe, because the use case was if the heat reaches a certain temperature in that area, then you would kick on a fan or open a door or whatever your use case for the relay is. It's a 10 to 15 amp relay. The documentation says 15 amp, and so we're excited about that. We tested it really well here internally just recently at the new office. And let me think what else. Yeah, we're starting to get them out to some beta testers. So we have a friend who's currently automated their pool pump and maybe a heater or something like that with it. And yeah, running great. So touching it up a little bit. We'll get some beta units out. It's on the C3 right now, but I'll be switching it to the C6 before we go in production with it. And yeah, if you have any input on Relay, I think we have a channel on our Discord for it called Relay 1. Let me think.
Yeah, we do. Yep.
We have
Relay 1 on. Yep.
All right.
We have, one person actively using it, testing, and
yep.
But should be yep.
So we've got a handful to give out for some beta units to get that tested, because like I said, it's been sitting collecting dust on the shelf for 8 months, and it's really just because we hadn't tested it to the higher amperage limits, and now that we have, we're ready to get it out there.
Yep. And Brandon posted the channel for Relay 1, so any questions you guys have or any suggestions, please hop over there and let us know.
All right, that's the relay. Pump. So pump 1 is when we released our plant sensor, which tells you if your soil is dry and your plant needs watered. Immediately, my mom said, well, if you're telling me that my plant needs water, why don't you just water it for us? And so that led to the Pump 1, which is we have a 1 liter bottle, but it's a bottle with a peristaltic pump on it that will you can control to say when my plant is dry, being read by the plant 1, turn on the pump and pump some water into it to water your plant. It's been in a kind of a jank state for a while now, and the hardware all works. The pump works great. The PCB works great. Everything's great. I just need to figure out the CAD design, and I'm struggling with that product design.
Specifically for the mount, like on
how to mount the pump to the bottle in a way that's easy to remove it so that you can go fill up the bottle, and in a way that we could potentially adapt it to allow multiple bottles, because I would love to sell it with no bottle, and if somebody has a 2 liter or something that they want to recycle and go that route, be able to attach this to it to not have to buy another bottle. So if there's anybody out there with CAD experience that wants a fun project like that, I would love some help, because I'm good at building square boxes. If you've seen all of our sensors, we
sometimes they're round, they have round edges and stuff,
rounded corners. So yeah, definitely trying to figure out the design on how to mount the pump to the bottle in a nice way.
because we've had people say, I have a 1 liter bottle, a 2 liter bottle, 3 liter bottle. I want to use a 5-gallon bucket. I want to use just tons of different things. So it's kind of hard to make a universal mount.
Yeah, and I should say thanks for Repeller. Repeller put into chat there the other use cases. I should have called those out because we used to call it like the plant water.
Yeah, plant water. Yeah.
And then somebody was like, "Oh, I would use that for my fish tank, or I would use that to dose in hydroponics. I would use that to, fill a dog's water bowl.
It's food safe.
Fill Keurigs is the tubing in the pump
and robot vacuum tanks.
Yeah, I want it for my robot as a drain. I want to drain from the pump because it doesn't require priming.
Yeah,
you don't have to prime the pump.
Yeah.
We've got a little ultrasonic water level sensor as well for the bottle, so that when the bottle runs out, it will also notify you on Home Assistant to tell you that the bottle is out of water. So then you can have your second Pump 1 fill your first Pump 1's bottle to keep it going.
I'm sure we're going to see somebody do that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we had the idea just for plants, but then as more people talked about it and the more we thought about it, there's like a huge number of use cases for it. So, just need to get the CAD design. Hardware works great. PCB's done. I need to switch to the C6, but that's easy. And then we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Pump 1, I think, ended up being a better name than Plant Waterer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Plant Water was... The channel used to be called Plant Water. Please help me with a better name.
Pump Works.
All
so
right.
Team BBD's jumping in saying they use a 5-gallon jug, essentially, with piping laid out, so...
Brandon said it wasn't also called Wet One. I didn't.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
All right. Let me think. Moist One. All right. The Real Kenji, yeah. So it won't be a replacement for the plant sensor. You'll be able to use your plant soil moisture sensor unless you're saying you grab somebody else's. But you'll be able to use this in addition with soil moisture.
And we were laughing about moist because DigiBlur, if you watch any of his content, you'll see that he likes to use the word moist in a lot of his titles. So, yeah, go give him a watch. DigiBlur DIY.
All right, so that's relay, parking, pump. Any other questions on YouTube? We were watching Discord.
No, just Gabby,
right.
and Britt.
Oh,
and
Britt in there?
I guess. Must be.
Huh.
Whole
cool.
family.
Man, thanks for the support.
Yep.
All right. I don't have it out here. TEMP-1 Pro.
You want to go get it?
So, TEMP-1 Pro. This is... I hate the Pro naming. I think we call it Temp Pro 1.
Is it Temp Pro 1?
Temp Pro, because it could be a 2 and it could be a...
Okay.
But anyway, this was a design when we were working on our temperature sensor. We had actually at Land War, an industrial client who happened to be there, came up and said, hey, would these work in a factory setting to monitor environmental conditions for raw materials? And we said, yeah, of course. What do we need to do? And they said, well, we needed to be PoE because they don't have internet everywhere. And I think that was about one of the only changes. It's a different sensor. It does both temperature and humidity. So we built it for them over a course of a couple months. And then some people have heard about it and have really wanted it to be released for their own PoE temperature needs. That one as well, it doesn't run on the C6 because I don't think that supports the correct Ethernet chip that's needed. It runs on the S3, I want to think.
Yeah, S3.
It's got, the hardware works, it's out there running, the case works, it's awesome. Power over Ethernet, for anybody who doesn't know, PoE is power over Ethernet. What that means is you can take one Ethernet cable and go to your switch, as long as it's a powered switch, your network switch, and it can give both power and data connection to your sensor. So you don't have to deal with any Wi-Fi connectivity or dropouts or flooding your network or also powering the sensor. And so I think we'll get that one cleaned up and get that one out into a beta, because every time that we talk about it, I thought it was just for this industrial client. People scream that they want the PoE temp sensor.
I tell you, people always say PoE the world. And
Yeah.
they want it. ZigBee and PoE.
So
every time.
Yeah, we Team BBD said Temp Plus. That could be a good one. Yeah. I've always the Plus, the Pros, the Max, the Ultra. I've always like
now.
Yeah, but what else do you call it? So yeah, definitely interested in that. So yeah, lots of it pluses for PoE sensors, PoE MTR. Yeah, it's actually a good use case for millimeter wave to keep all that traffic off of your Wi-Fi because they are very chatty.
Yes.
Let's see, what else do we have? Will it have a wider operating temp range? Currently it doesn't. It has the same sensor as the TEMP-1, the same port, and then it has an additional port for an I2C sensor that can do temperature and humidity. Possibly, if there's use cases, again, like if we're gonna build a pro version, we want it to like include as much stuff as we can. So multiple probes, if there's different temperature ranges and things like that, because we don't want the Pro and then the Pro Max to come out one day. I don't know if we can say those on without getting sued.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah, we take it back. I think it was less than 30 seconds, so we're good.
All right, what else we got? Anything on YouTube? That's the TEMP-1. We talked about for a little while was the NFC. So this was suggested to us by some people at CES that are influential in Home Assistant.
I think they already know.
To make an NFC card reader. Great idea. Has like first class support in Home Assistant. I didn't ever even realize that it's like right there in the settings to add in NFC cards. So it's RFID, right? No, NFC.
Yeah, NFC.
And I ordered a development board. I couldn't get it to work. I don't know what's going on, why I can't get this development chip to work. And so I ordered a different one. Hopefully that one will help me unlock that piece. There's a channel in there. Justin just posted it. We're always asking as early as possible. We tell you guys about sensors and ideas. We really, really want feedback in those channels about what are we missing, what should we add, what should we think about. Because a lot of our design is hugely community driven and a lot of back and forth. And I'll add as well, there's a Discord role that we have called Feedback Squad, which is a way, if you go and grab that role in Discord, and we can link you how, when we have these types of questions to say, hey, what should we add to the NFC, we will ping that role for requesting feedback. Don't ping the role. We did it last time.
They don't mind. That's why they're here.
That one's super early.
KBX Keith was just like, ping me if you can't get the word.
Yeah, I might, because I was banging my head. I think I ordered 3 dev boards because I thought I was burning them, and I just can't figure out what's going on with the wiring. And it's definitely something on wiring, because if I like unpower the sensor, I get the reading immediately, but then I have to power it again. It's almost like it's freezing up. So yeah, we'll definitely maybe chat. Repeller said that he wants release notes. Yes, we were just talking. We're trying to figure out the way to best do release notes so that we can, now that we're utilizing the new ESP Home update system inside of Home Assistant, we can actually show the release notes when you go to update them. Right now, they're buried in GitHub pull requests and things like that, which nobody's going to go find hardly. So we hear you. We know that we have a responsibility to tell you what is changing when you go to update your sensor. And all of the code's open source, so you could always go view what's going on. But obviously not everybody wants to do that, nor has maybe the technical skills to read the code. So yes, we are working on release notes. The second thing that we're working on is automated builds that happen more frequently. Right now we have automated builds when we make new changes to test our sensors. But we want to be running automated builds that we can catch problems in future ESP Home releases earlier. So testing into the beta versions so that we know when there's changes coming and things like that. that we don't catch from release notes or anything. So, yes, definitely looking at those. We appreciate you holding us accountable for that.
It's like California's saying some use cases, I guess like playing playlists and stuff. That's the cool thing is, you can kind of hide these little tags and then just tap them. And
yeah, Ben was saying
do automation.
Cards printed with shows for kids and adults. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually one of the use cases we heard about from someone at Home Assistant was saying, like, instead of allowing their kids to browse Netflix to say what they should watch that night, they had printed off a handful of cards and, marked them so that their kids could go pick out these approved movies to watch and play without having to scroll through and look at, Netflix and things like that to find something. So I was looking at 2 card printers, so where you can actually print designs on cards for common things, because nothing would be worse than having 5 white NFC cards that now you don't know which one is which. So if there's ideas for that, or if that's the interest of people, of us coming up with a handful of, different designs that would be kind of universal, then that's something we could definitely look at.
Yeah, and then did you hit on people, I think, also wanted to be an IR blaster as well?
Yeah.
Or a couple other ideas.
Yeah, if there's additions, because again, we want that product feedback. NFC was, also requested to have an infrared blaster on it. Things like that where we can combine things that make sense or things that aren't offered as much. We would definitely like to combine things to prevent you from having to buy multiple different types of sensors.
I mean, they know us. Hopefully by now, they know that we like to stuff them full as many sensors as we can. So we had a question from Enite asking about UK distribution. So actually, we've been talking with the Pi Hut, which is based in the UK, and we should hopefully be getting an order out to them here within the next couple of weeks, hopefully. And so we should actually have some local distribution in the UK, because that has been one of the places that we've been underserving since Brexit, since they left the EU, because we have a distribution in the Netherlands and Switzerland, and then Australia and Canada. So we're really excited. We haven't. It's not fully official, but everything looks to be going in that direction. So we'll post more here in the next couple of weeks, but the Pi Hut should be carrying our sensors, and it'll be great for everybody that's in the UK.
Yeah, that would be
it's
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks. I mean, I think they heard about us through the Home Tech podcast.
The HomeTech.fm podcast.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
HomeTech.fm podcast. Really cool podcast for anybody who wants to hear about home automation and tech like that. It's definitely cool when, we get more and more of these companies reaching out wanting to carry our products. I know we have stock issues in Europe. It's out of our hands. We can't force them to purchase more.
We are working on it, though. We should have an order, a restock order coming pretty soon.
Including the TEMP-1. TEMP-1 should be coming to Open Circuit, which is currently out of Netherlands. They're a distributor on our site, so for people in Europe that are probably all asleep right now because it's 3 a.m., you could buy from them.
Pseudorandom said that the NFC cards thing sounds like Blockbuster with extra steps.
Yeah. Repeller is saying he's a pipelines platform engineer. Yeah, actually, I would actually really be interested in talking, because my previous dev experience has been through Azure DevOps, which is a different pipeline system, and I have not built complex pipelines like this, so that could definitely be somewhere. Ben was saying being able to upload images for us to print. That's definitely an interesting idea. The only problem there is like the labor of printing them, but if that's a need.
If Brandon heard that, he lit up, because he wants to do his lithophane.
Oh no, so this is custom NFC cards.
Yeah, but just like
lithophanes.
Custom prints. Yeah. I'm sure he went right for it.
Yeah, Brandon wants to rebrand us to Apollo Lithopanes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. What else?
BVD said the modular sensor idea. Do you see that question?
Yeah, using that Grove port for the modular part. Yeah, that's definitely an interesting idea. We do love adding modularity. A lot of our boards have mezzanine connectors on them, which allow us to add additional functionality. Or the Air one has a few ports on it, that allow you to add on sensors. We have headers, GPIO headers, that allow you to make your sensor into almost like a dev board that gives you a place to plug in other sensors. But yeah, using standards like the Grove port would be a good idea.
The new voice Home Assistant Voice Preview Edition has an extra Grove port,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I think it does.
Which is cool. Really cool of them to do that.
Let's see. Real Ken G says, I'm in Chicago. Do I need to pay the new tariffs? So right now, we do ship from Lexington, Kentucky.
This is our main distribution.
No tariff state to state
that
yet.
we know of yet, yeah. But yeah, so there shouldn't be any.
Yeah. Let's see.
And then, of course, Brandon's, talking about lithos again.
All right. How's YouTube looking?
Looks good.
Okay, so that's covering pretty much everything that's in progress. We've got a lot. We've recently we started working with a contract engineer because we've been heavily engineering limited for all of Apollo's existence almost. So definitely trying to expand R&D, primarily just R&D, getting sensors tested on breadboards, getting firmware running, and then going from there, is much easier. So, yeah, we've got a contract starting with that to help maybe figure out helping us out there. Because there's tons of ideas, there's tons of opportunity, there's tons of improvements we want to make. We just need more time.
Just need more time.
Yeah.
We're almost caught up. We just need a little bit more time. So everybody feels that way.
So, Pseudorandom said, with the new C6 board, are there any things you would have liked to do before but couldn't? Really, it's just the protocols. So, being able to use Zigbee or Thread and Matter is, that's a huge advantage there. They're also have larger flash size, which means you can have more entities and more complexity, but, we've been able to avoid most of that, and Keith said almost caught up. We've said that I think we've said that every week for the last year and a half.
We're almost there. We'll get caught up.
It's good. It's good.
It's fine. We'll get caught up. Don't worry.
They're good growth pains. We are wildly appreciative of what's going on and how we went from a little hobby project. I should have said that in the intro. A little hobby weekend project that we thought we'd sell 100 sensors and be ecstatic, to full-time jobs and selling internationally and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Brandon was saying that I guess the giveaway finished, but it didn't actually announce a winner. So I don't know, Brandon, if there's any way you can go through the entry, the entrance, and just randomize it.
Yeah. Keith was saying ESP Home doesn't support Zigbee Thread. Yeah. We'd have to build the specific Zigbee firmware. Unless you guys wanted to do Zigbee through ESP Home, that would be pretty sweet.
That'd be pretty awesome, right? Thumbs up or comment in chat if you want Zigbee on ESP Home.
Yeah, I've seen the feature requests and some PRs that are out there. I've not given them a try or seen how large they are. All right, so just covering where are we at on time. I got 10 minutes left.
Yep.
So TEMP-1 we had released a few month ago. And so that's the device that allows you to monitor the temperature inside your fridge, your freezer, your fish tank, your hot tub. And then it also has a stainless steel food safe probe on it to monitor your food on the grill, your turkey in the oven, all these different types of things. There was let's say a limitation with the food probe. It would only go up to 180 some degrees, 190 degrees Fahrenheit, which was fine for food, but not fine for monitoring oven like the actual oven temperature or your grill's temperature inside, not inside of the food. So we have been doing fixes to those for anybody who has that use case and bought a food probe. If you didn't see our email, we were fixing those boards to allow them to go to a higher temperature. We and are switching the resistor for future production to allow it. I think it's 450 or 400 and some degrees. 400 and some degrees is the new max that the food probe maxes out at.
Thought it was funny. Mostly Chris, one of the YouTubers that we work with, he did the TEMP-1 review and had just commented on it and was like, "But if you're cooking your steak at 400, you're gonna be eating charcoal." He's like, so yeah. It was kind of funny. And DigiBlur did a really good video with the TEMP-1 as well too. I think he was cooking like hot pockets and stuff. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So go take a look.
All right. We'll just call it the last two things: beta firmware and future product survey. So we covered the future product survey earlier. That's a way for you guys to let us know what's missing that you have a need for, but there isn't a sensor out there. The second is we also have a role, not only the feedback squad role, that again, that's the one that lets you know when we have questions, is the beta firmware role. And so beta firmware is when exactly what it says, as we bring out new features, we put them out into a beta branch of the firmware. We'd love any testing of those by as many people as we can get. It was not as scary in the early days of Apollo when we had a couple hundred of sensors out there pushing updates. But now that we have many devices all across the entire globe, we have kind of like the release notes, a much higher responsibility on the firmware releases. And so while they may work in our configurations, obviously we test our own internally. There are a lot of configurations out there. So anybody that would like to join the beta, we would greatly appreciate it to test these products out earlier. All right. So any other questions? I think that's all of our agenda list. We've covered a whole lot. I don't know what's going on with the giveaway.
We're gonna. I think what we'll do is we'll just pick someone randomly, real quick. So we got to keep talking until we can figure that out.
We're picking one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna keep talking.
We're gonna
questions.
Anybody have any questions? What else we got?
Ask us. We're here. There'll be another month. Well, I guess this is episode 12. So I guess we've officially been doing this a year, and I have absolutely no idea how it's been a year already. But I guess episode 12, 12 once a month, right? So 12 months, or
I guess
12
so.
episodes.
I don't think we ever missed.
I don't think so. We were a little bit late with one because I was sick, and again I've been sick, so sorry if I've been sniffling and sound weird. But and then I guess CES it was
a short one.
I just did a little bit earlier, but we've been pretty consistent, or tried to be. We did talk again. I know it's been brought up about maybe changing the time. Potentially maybe a little earlier. It kind of works out for us where we're in the U.S. in the Eastern time zone, so 8 o'clock is kind of like as people are winding down after dinner. It's about 5 o'clock on the West Coast, with people are getting off work and just starting dinner. It's about midday in Australia. I think it's around 11 or 12 right now. So we miss most of Europe though. Unfortunately, the Netherlands and the UK are all asleep already. But if you have any ideas as far as the time, a different time. So
there was also requests for written versions of these to either be emailed or be posted on our blog, and I think we're going to definitely start doing that. So not everybody can log on and listen to a 1 hour stream of us talking. So we will be finding a way to send out written summaries of these, just bullet points out for people that would like to keep up to date. We'll definitely figure that out. All right.
See
what else?
See, give it. Brandon's did a reroll, I think.
Did it pick somebody? I can pick somebody. What are we giving away?
A TEMP-1.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know. Hell, I think Keith might be calling out Jesse on this one. He's asking what time it is in New Zealand. And I was like, it's only 2:55 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, it's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But it looks like Keith is like, ooh, like, well, where's Jesse at? Any updates, Brandon, real quick? If not, we'll just have to randomly pick.
Ben, didn't Ben win before?
What?
Did he win the
No.
last one?
No. Come on, Ben.
Dude, what is this?
Come on. Reroll. Okay. Ben won last time, so which is fine, but you know, maybe we should institute like you can only win once, like, you know,
A quarter or something?
a quarter or something like that, just to be safe.
Because we also had, there was a few before that were just like 3 months in a row.
Oh yeah, I would have felt like Code in Progress, or you know, a few of the other guys were winning stuff back to back. What if it rolled Ben again? That would be hilarious. Californian, there you go.
That's a good one. He's
Congrats. Yeah, he's been around for a while. So congrats. We'll send you a TEMP-1. So just reach out to me or Brandon, and just let us know your preferred shipping and email address. You're already in our system, but just give us a shout.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben. Ben, if you are interested in testing a relay or a PoE TEMP-1 Pro, let us know.
We'll make it up to you, Ben. Don't worry.
We'll get you out.
And thanks again, Brandon, for re-rolling those. Did we get any other
I think we're good.
questions? Jesse's occupied today, is what Keith said. Oh, yeah. I forgot he's got kids, so busy. Gotta take care of them.
All right. Well, that concludes it. Hey, we appreciate you all coming on to talk to us. We really, really like engaging with everybody, and especially like in the development side about product ideas and things where, as Justin said, you know, we're definitely not experts in all these fields or probably any, so we appreciate all the help and ideas and input.
I say it all the time. I mean, we're just normal guys, just friends having fun.
Yep.
Appreciate the community. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Really, you know, again, really appreciative to the Home Assistant team, and especially Miranda and all of them that works with Home Assistant partnership program. Just very humbling, very exciting time, and just would never have thought we would be here. So, so just thank you again.
Yep.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. If you have anything else, reach out to us in Discord. We'll see you.